Hello there.
Hello.
Okay, first I want to say, you guys know that I usually have some choreography that goes along, so the mic might interfere with my speech. It's such an honor to be up here. There's a lot of faces out there. I want to go back to something that Craig just said briefly about stepping out of the box. And for me, this is stepping out of the box, doing presentations, doing what we do is stepping out of the box. And then he said, what happens if the box gets bigger? And that's what keeps happening. So when you get a call from Chris Kavanaugh and he says, hey, I want you to come on stage and speak, the answer is always yes. Yeah, of course I want to do that. But it's still exciting, it's nerve-wracking to be up here. Oh, thank you. So what I want to tell you guys about a little bit is, first of all, my story. I've been in Kimana about 10 months right now, and got introduced from a woman. Where's Tracy? There's Tracy. Much like Michelle, I was chased around by Tracy. Tracy Desjardins was telling me all about Kimana. Kept telling me, you're a national fitness trainer. You've got to look at this company. You have 4 children. You work like a dog. You never see your husband. On and on and on. And I just kept blowing her off. And 3 months, she would throw little shakes in my car. She would tell me, I get little emails, I get little text messages, I see her at the gym. And first of all, I had no idea about network marketing. None at all. Like, I knew Avon and I knew all kinds of companies, but I never knew what it was. And to be honest, the day I signed in, I still didn't know what it was. I just knew that eventually, after 3 months, she wore me down. I said, okay, I'll listen to it. And she thankfully brought Danielle Rich to my house. She sat down with my husband and myself, and basically what she said to us was, I'm going to put you in a vehicle. I'm going to give you an opportunity that take all the hours that you work. I was working 7 days a week. I was working day, I was working night. I had about 50 different jobs. My husband was working 2 jobs. We had no vacations. We have 4 children, ages 3, 14, 16, and 18. We live on the shoreline in Connecticut, and it was just a way of life for us. That was paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And we just worked, and we just flipped the kids back and forth, and that was the way that we thought life was. And I didn't know there was anything else except for more work, and then possibly getting one really good client or getting a really great choreography job. And that just, it's up and down. So when I met Danielle, she had said to me, there's something else out there for you. You're already in health and wellness. This is going to leverage your time. It's going to leverage everything for you. And my husband was making faces behind her back because it was all sounding too good to be true. My kids always call me glass half full, and it's daddy glass half empty, so you may want to take some notes, babe, right now. But I knew we were going to have a great life. I had all these dreams, I had all these visions, but I just didn't know how to get there. So that's the whole bottom line of Kimana when I talk about the vehicle. That's really what it is. I knew where I wanted to be, and I had said to my husband, he's going to be 45 in January. I said, we've been together 7 years. I said, babe, by the time you're 45 and I'm 40, I'll be 40 in December. I said, we're going to be all set. But I had no clue how we were going to get there. I just knew that I had to get us there somehow. And Danielle, certainly, she showed me the way. It's funny when we tell the story because I literally put her on the clock for 15 minutes because I had about 1,000 jobs to do. And that's what she said to me. She said, we're going to leverage your time. I'm going to show you how to do this in very little time. I said, do you know how little time I have? She said, I do. I've been prepped by you. I know that you're kicking me out in 10 minutes. And she said, I'll help you do it. And let's get going. And let me tell you more about the company. And she started opening up her iPad. And I was like, listen, if you're telling me that my husband can be retired in the next 2 years, that I don't have to work like this, that I can take my kids on vacation, that I don't have to worry about when the electric company's calling or if they should pull in the driveway and shut my lights off on me, because that's what it was. And I'll tell you what, and I have heard Danielle say it too, it sucks and it's embarrassing because all we did was work. And we just figured, how is this even possible for us? But I always knew what I didn't have the money. I had talent, my husband had talent. We had no extra time, but I had a dream like it was nobody's business. And that's what she gave me. She gave me that dream. I didn't even know it existed out there. So I told her, shut the iPad, that's wasting time, just tell me what I gotta do. I said, let's go, we'll start a meeting at my house next week. I had no products, I didn't know what I was getting. It didn't really matter to me. And that's the most important thing. And when I tell my team, and I do presentations, and I get on the calls and stuff, this is an opportunity. The owners have done their job. Dr. Lehman's done his job. Everybody's already done your job. You just have to have a belief. And that's what I wanted to get up here and talk a little bit about was your attitude. Because your money, you don't know. You could have millions of dollars, and not that I've ever had it, but I AJ, put me down for that club, too. Definitely wanted on that club. Thank you. I know those spots are going to go by the end of the day, so put me in the club. You never know what's going to happen with your money. You never know what's going to happen with your health. I'm a national fitness trainer. I'm an international choreographer. I'm in great health. But I'll tell you what, if I trip off this stage and I break my ankle, there goes my income. My husband had shoulder surgery a few weeks ago. Well, if this was last year, there's no way he could have taken 3 full weeks off of work and recovered his shoulder, because he would have had to keep going, and we only had a few extra vacation days. So what this opportunity has done is absolutely mind-blowing. And I built my business, and I did go balls to the walls. I did coin the phrase. I said it on a national call. It's not a bad saying. I went head first, dove in. I went crazy with this business. I made great paychecks. I had this huge organization growing. And then, just like Michelle was saying, it stopped. And I don't say that to, if there's any new people in the room. It's part, and I congratulated Kelly. Where's Kelly? Happened to Kelly too. I said, congratulations, Kelly. Your rite of passage is there, because I would call Danielle, and I would call Jerry, and I would call whoever I had to call, and they'd say, it's just part of the business. It's the rollback. You build, and then you roll back, and then you sift the sand. And I was going to say that. Michelle took it. But you keep doing what you do. But the only thing that you always have with you is your attitude and your belief. And you have to have that, because like I said, for us, we didn't know where the next paycheck was going to come in. We didn't know. We had 4 kids, and we had to make sure they were all healthy. We had to make sure we were healthy, because you don't get sick days when you're a trainer. You just don't go to work, and then you don't get paid. So for us, for me, it was all about attitude. And I have had belief since day one. And having a positive mental attitude and having good belief in the company doesn't mean you're always on. You can come down. You can have the bad days. But my belief never, ever wavers. I know 10 months ago that this company was going to be our ticket out, and that's never, things have come up and down and up and down, and just yesterday, my husband went out to the car, and we had flat tires on our car right here. Stuff happens every single day, but what never wavers for me is my belief in this business and my attitude in this business. But the only way it stays like that, because we all have bad days. Everything goes up and down. That's just the way that life is. So how do you get around that? You surround yourself. There's so much more to this company besides financial freedom for me, which is key. That's going to save our lives. It's going to help our kids. But it's the team that I have. It's the friends that I've made. I won't look over there because I'll cry. Everyone has made me cry pretty much so far today, so I'm trying not to get emotional. But the friends that I've had, the people, the inspirational people that I can look up to, I didn't have that. I was always the it girl in my job. I was always the one that was on all the time, and it's very tiring. So to be in an industry like this and in a company like this, where I can pick up the phone, and there's about 15 people in this room, I can pick up the phone and ask them for anything. Anything. Ah! And they're people that I didn't know last year. So how do you get that? Where do you get that? I've never seen anything like this company. And I have a new team. Adrian was up here. That's my new rock star that's on my team. And I've got all these great new friends. And you just have to stay in it. That's the most important thing. And it's all the common theme that everybody's saying today. You have to stay in it. And when it gets tough, there's a lot of faces that I haven't seen in a while. I'm just seeing back today. Stick with it. Stay with it. You have to stay plugged in, because you can't do it by yourself. It's not hard work. I always say my work, and I do that, because it isn't work. Me teaching a dance class, which I was going to do instead of talking, because it's much easier for me to do. Me teaching a class in front of hundreds or thousands of people is a piece of cake. Me doing all my other jobs is a piece of cake. It's tough, but it's not hard work. When I was a single mother before I met my husband, and when I had my daughter, I opened a daycare at home so I could have a home-based business. Oh my God, that was work. That was my brilliant idea. I said, it looks like my job. I'm gonna open it. It's in my home. Oh my God, 9 kids under the age of 6. They would get dropped off at 6:30 in the morning. They would get, and then I would pick up another 3 from school. So I would have 12 kids by the end of the day. Single mom, and I owned my home, and it was a 2-family home, and I was the landlord, and I was the everything, and then I would train at night for martial arts and for all my fitness stuff, and that was work. It's not work, but it's not easy all the time. But the hardest part is mental in this. It's not anything than that. I'm going, my 3-year-old, that if you see her running around the hotel, she's with us. Mommy, are you going to work? Yeah, I guess. I'm going to go back, drive to the Cape, have lunch with Adrian, do a couple of meetings. unraveling. And I didn't care, because I knew it was coming back. So it was never anything that stopped me. It was just like, oh, okay, now we gotta rebuild. And that's what they teach us. That's what you have to do. You have to call somebody when that happens and you go, what happened to my team? Well, congratulations. You've just had your first unraveling, you're all set, rite of passage, move on, and keep going. But you have to stay plugged in. You get on those calls at night. Danielle does an amazing call on Sunday nights, and all the leaders have been on the calls. I cannot wait to work on Sunday nights and listen to those calls. On Wednesday nights, whenever you have to do it, and you get to those presentations,